Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for popping in. So, some of the things that I do for my business are research. It's so important, I think, to keep up with, as in this reselling business, I think it's so important to keep up with what's selling, what it's selling for. Things change so much. When I first started out, I sold my husband's science fiction book club books, and I sold some of those for great money, and they would make zero money today because it, it's just changed. And so as things change, we have to change. And one of the ways we do that is just by keeping up and doing some research. So I tend to do that in my downtime, like while I'm watching TV. Now, obviously, I'm not watching TV right now. I'm sitting at my computer. Normally, I would do this while I'm sitting in my recliner with the TV on, and I've got my iPad on Chrome and just browsing these different websites. But I'm just going to give you a little taste of what I do. So let me do a screen share. Now, I have two specific areas that I stay in my reselling. And it's kind of odd because they're kind of very different. I do books, I do clothing. I started out with the books many years ago, and I've just added the clothing within the past few years. But the principle of researching still stays the same. First thing, one thing I do is I go onto the platforms that I sell on and make use of their sold data, the data of what has sold and what things have sold for. It's the most basic of research. So for purposes of this, I'm on Poshmark, and what I'm going to look at today is scarves, because scarves are an area I do clothing. I don't do a lot of accessories, and I see a lot of scarves, and I thought, well, I don't know much about them, so let me just see. So on Poshmark, I'm going to go to the main Poshmark page here. I'm going to go to, and of course you could do this in the app as well. Women, I'm going to go to accessories, and I'm going to pop down here to scarves and wraps. And then I'm going to choose, I'm going to filter availability by sold items. And then, of course, I'm going to flip to high to low. Now, obviously, this is going to bring up those rare and wonderful Hermes, I think that's the way, Fendi, that stuff that I'm generally not going to, I would know that if I found it in my thrift store. So I'm not really looking for that. I'm going to go over here and sort by price. And for right now, I'm going to look at $25 to $50 scarves because, yeah, these are more likely what I'm going to find in my own thrift store. So, and then I'm just browsing. Here's a Zara scarf that sold for 50. This scarf is interesting. La Boheme from the Metropolitan Opera. That's really, oh, that's a silk scarf. That's beautiful. So that's something you would pick out really just for the look of it. It's really gorgeous. And my purpose in doing this, again, is not, I don't want to be in the store. There's Kate Spade, Michael Kors. Obviously, I'm looking at the brands. And I think, as I've said in my other video, this is more of an exercise in not writing these down and making lists and keeping notes. It's just, as I'm watching TV, as I'm going through, these things are going to stick in my head. Obviously, Burberry, Coach, that's stuff that's already in my head. Look, this one's really gorgeous. And this is a handmade scarf. And sold for $50. So that shows you that people on Poshmark will pay up for really beautiful and one-of-a-kind things. Escada, that's a name I've recognized. Gucci, Anthropologie, Salvatore Ferragamo. Here's one, Beryl. I've never heard of this. And this gal even gives a little background. Beryl chief designer Sigmar Borg trained as an architect before turning his interest in pure form and timeless quality into Beryl designs. So that's a name I've never even heard and might not even, and you'll see that's what the tag looks like. So, next, if I was ever in a store and saw a scarf that had that brand, that would stick in my head because I've seen it here. So that's the way I would do my research and browsing on Poshmark. Now, the same can apply on eBay. Just go to the main eBay page, head into women's fashion accessories, and let's find scarves here. And let's again sort by sold. And of course, you can use Terapeak for this, but I don't need to dig back 90 days or 360 days. I am happy with seeing. And here I want to also sort by price. Here I'm going to go again with $25 to $50. But I like going eBay. You can kind of put your own parameters in. And again, I'm seeing some, here we go. Now this is interesting because eBay doesn't break out the brand the way Poshmark does. This doesn't even have a, oh, this is a, oh, Monogram is the brand. Okay. It's Monogram. I don't think I've heard of that. And here's another Gemovar. These are actually really beautiful. J. Crew, Emilio Pucci. Again, Burberry, Zara, Kate Spade. These are all familiar names. Gap. Interesting. This is a new Gap scarf. Sold for $30. Maybe the stripe pattern. Here is one that sold for $50, which is a beautiful Irish wrap shawl or scarf made by the Avoca company. One thing that really annoys me is that you then have to drill down to get to the original listing. Like, take me to the original listing, why don't you? So that's basically it. I usually will choose a category. Like today, I looked at scarves. Sometimes I'll just sit and like, let me look at jeans and what's selling lately in jeans, or let me look at purses. That's another area that I don't dabble in too much. Let me look at shoes. Let me see what's selling in shoes in the say $50 to $100 range. So that's the basic research on the platforms that I sell on. Now, another thing I do in the clothing area is I'll look at, there's different blogs and things that I follow that give me an idea of what's just current and what's kind of trending. Now, as I think I've explained to you before, I don't sell a lot of the very latest styles. I do tend to skew towards the older gal, the older woman. And so I do sell a lot of, for instance, like Chico's and Susan Graver and stuff like that. But if you're in the thrift shops all the time and you're going through the rack, for those of you who sell clothing know you've got this rack the length of the store, and you're kind of lifting along looking at the tags and also getting the kind of the feel of the fabric as it goes by. But this is another area where if you find something that's trending now, you're not going to say, oh, I'm not going to take it because I'm going to take it, right? I'm going to take anything that's trending. And so in order to know what those are, these are the types of sites that I just visit to find out what's going on in the world of fashion. This is a favorite of mine called the Curvy Fashionista. I do have a specialty plus size Poshmark closet that I like to keep up on what those buyers are looking for. So this has a lot of stories. Wow, panty subscription option. That's very cool. I mean, this is probably TMI, but I tend to wear my underwear till it's well worn, and then I throw it away. I don't sell it. It's well worn. So here, I'm taking a look at the editor's pick. Khaki joggers, sleep pants. Looks like a lot of sleepwear there right now. So I'll look at these. ASOS design. ASOS is a brand that I do tend to look for. So basically, I just look to see if there's anything here that tickles my brain in terms of style. Looks like we're seeing wrap. A lot of these wrap. There was a wrap dress on the page before. Now here's a beautiful wrap dress. Denim dresses. Look, here's 3 denim dresses. So denim dresses for the plus size gal. Yeah, and that's what I do. I just tend to look at what they're wearing. Another place that I go is Revolve. Now, Revolve is one of those places where you can find, this is more about the brands, because I'll often go here, designers, and just take a look, most popular, and just take a look. Daydreamer, Faithful the brand, Golden Goose. Some of these, of course, I know. IMGA, that's not one I've heard of. MBD, Off-White, Privacy Please. Citizens of Humanity. Yeah, I'll just browse and see any new brands that pop out. These are, Revolve has the trending brands. Revolve has what people are buying, and this is their category of most popular right now. So it doesn't hurt to know if I'm in a thrift store and I'm swishing and I see, oh, IMG or Jordan, and I'll think, wow, I think I just saw that on Revolve. Let me take a better look at that. And then I might in the store pull up my phone and do a little research on the spot. But in general, I might have swiped right by that on the rack if I hadn't seen it here first. Another place I like to go, again, Saks Fifth Avenue. Saks Fifth Avenue is fairly high end. They have this edit, the edit, which gives you a little bit of kind of news, 8 comfy chic ways to dress right now. Right now with COVID-19 and people being indoors, people are more into comfy, cozy at home clothing. And these are obviously higher end things. And in this, I'm not likely to find these in these brands in the store, but I just like to look. This is big oversized blazers, oversized coats right now, these slouchy kind of sweaters. There's another blazer. So it looks like blazers are really trending with Saks right now. Oh, that's a gorgeous coat. So yeah, on Saks Fifth Avenue, I just tend to look at the styles. This is another website I like to go to, the Blonde Salad, and I go to the fashion, and it just gives this is another more of a what people are looking for. 5 fall winter 2020 trends launched by Lady Diana. And 90s wear is really coming back, is kind of big right now, the 90s look. High-waisted jeans are back, And here again, the oversized blazer. So when you're going into your thrift store next, when I'm going into my thrift store next, I'm going to maybe make a point to go to that jacket rack and see what I can find in these longer, more slouchy blazers. And another one, Who What Wear. I think I get a Who What Wear. I sign up for their news. I get a little thing in my mailbox that has these articles. I'm a London-based CEO, and I feel mad cool when I wear these 7 items. Yeah, showing what people are wearing, these types of jackets. She calls it a shacket, which is a cashmere, a cashmere mix, almost like a sweater jacket. Cashmere, always in. White sneakers. Yeah. So on this site, Who What Wear, I tend to more read the articles. And then another area that I go into when I'm just popping around on TV is kind of e-commerce trends, what's going on in e-commerce. And for instance, this Social Bakers gives me an insight on what's going on with social media, Instagram and Facebook best practices, 5 social media trends to follow in 2020. Talks about selling socially, how social media and selling are going more and more hand in hand, not just on Instagram, but now with the stories on Poshmark. Here's a little update about Instagram hiding likes, which is a big deal. And so on this site, the future of video content. This is talking about YouTube. So on this site, I just tend to read the articles about social media trends. Here's Digital Commerce 360, gives more of a look at what's going on. For instance, here's an article about where in the world will Amazon go next. Here is an article about the Click, Ship, and Return report. So it's all about e-commerce shipping and fulfillment and things like that. And you might think, well, I'm a little guy selling my little packages on eBay. You never know what you're going to pick up reading these articles. It may seem overarching, it may seem way above what you're doing, but often you can just get an idea of things that are important to you from just reading about what overall trends are in e-commerce. No matter how small the seller you are e-commerce. You are an e-commerce business person, and what goes on in that world is important to you. And just like in the first end, when I looked into clothing, or maybe more in here where I looked at clothing trends and things, I do pop around some book blogs and things to keep up with what's going on. Not so much as what's going on in books, but because I don't sell I'm not selling new books that are just out. I'm selling older books, I'm selling used books, but it doesn't hurt to pop around in this world of books to see what's going on. Rare books as gifts. The people are buying these rare books as gifts. Who some of these favorite authors are, And here we have, this is AB, this is the ABA, Antiquarian. I like this latest catalog of rare books. This is what other rare booksellers are selling, because I do sometimes sell older books, and sometimes I find rarer books, but I am not anywhere near as knowledgeable, or I don't consider myself an expert bookseller by any means. But when I have something in my hands, I want to find out as much about it as possible. A month ago or so, I sold a book that for $200. I actually sold it just within the past 2 weeks for $200. That when I first got it, I had no idea what it was. And I couldn't really find anything on it through looking at eBay. So I thought, well, maybe I'll throw it up for 50 bucks and see if somebody pops on it. But because of sites like this, I was able to dig a little deeper and find out what I really had. And then I ended up selling the book for $200. So I would have, been throwing money away if I hadn't taken the time to do this research. And here, these are true expert booksellers sharing what they've got in their bookshops. And for instance, Aardvark bookseller, these are their latest finds. And not only does this help me kind of get an idea of what values might be, it gives me terms and things that I can use in my own listings that I would not have otherwise known. For instance, I might have called this a cloth hardcover book, and they're, red cloth spine with spine titles and spine decoration and gilt and frontis illustrated throughout, just terms that I might not have used that make me sound a little more professional. So when I'm looking at these book sites, it's more of educating myself on terms and more to help me be more professional. This is another one called Flip Those Books. This is more of a nitty gritty. As you can see, recommended book selling tools, 7 reasons you start on Amazon FBA. This is more of a nitty gritty, how to store books in a small bedroom, how to clean books from the thrift store, really like a more how to, and always great information. So I like to check on it regularly to see if he's come out with anything different. So that's just a little overview of some of the things that I do just on my downtime. Sometimes if I'm waiting in line, if I'm sitting in the doctor's office, I might pop onto my phone and pull up one of these websites or visit a blog or something like that, just to keep myself up to date on the things that I'm selling. It never hurts to just keep yourself up to date. And that's the way you'll make the better money, is by doing your research. So I hope this was helpful to you. I always appreciate all the great information I get from other resellers, and have just tried to do a few little things here to share what little knowledge I might have. And don't forget that every morning at 9 a.m. on the Chick Picker channel, the Reseller Squad has a reselling and chat. And of course, we can talk about other things too. And that will be linked in the description below. And I'll also do a little link to all these sites that I visited in case you're interested in bookmarking them on your browser. So thanks. See you soon.